Hey guys, I'm Bissy Atkins.
Hey guys, I'm Mike Slimster.
And I'm Clara Teku, and this is Culture
Unfiltered.
Now we're going to segment to one of our favorite parts of the show. Every week we're going to attempt to give some real life scenarios advice sent in by our friends. You guys send us letters where you guys would love our advice and our opinions at cultureunfilteredshow@gmail.com. So I hope you guys are ready to give some sound advice because people need it. Situation one.
Look how me and Ike both did this at the same time. That was on some counselor.
You know, as people who have lived, you know, you gotta.
You guys are the wise. You're the wise counsel. Okay. This is about dating a coworker. So the letter says, I have a Work Bae, and around the office we have always had great chemistry. And I figured this is before quarantine, of course, because right now people are working from home. Okay. Even when the pandemic hit, we still stayed in touch via Zoom meetings and text messages. As work seeps into everyday life these days, especially with work from home, is there ever a scenario where entertaining a romantic relationship with a colleague is okay? I understand not mixing business with pleasure, but would love the group's advice on if they have ever been in this scenario and how it turned out, and if I should avoid it at all costs or give it a shot. The end.
Ike, you go first.
Why me? Jeez.
Because I've gone first, Claire's gone first. It's just you now.
Okay. I feel like so. First of all, the whole relations or intimacy with a coworker it's really hot. It's great. It's a steamy story. It's always gonna be like great. Now the problem is you have to be able to read between the lines to be able to tell if this is just like a intense we work together type of like attraction, or like we actually do have chemistry in real life. Not like all your conversations are around your coworkers and around what you guys would like to do with each other. Like there has to be actual one-on-one chemistry and not everything like just being about the job. Because then you fool yourself and think there's an actual chemistry, and then once you are done to do and the job is done, you know, and then you're like, oh shit, we're still talking about coworkers. Like we have nothing to talk about. And, you know, we've come this far and now we're falling flat on our face. So in my experience, yes, I have been here before. In my experience.
Did you or didn't you?
I trust you.
Of course I did. I just said it's hot. It's a bucket list thing. These are life goals. I'm sorry. In the office? Are you kidding me? Gosh, this is.
I get the allure.
Yeah, exactly. So, again, in that situation, I feel like on her part, more like it was read as, I guess, there was a connection beyond what was, but it was mostly work. It was literally mostly work. We didn't talk about anything else besides what was happening at work. And for me, when that move was made, I accepted with open arms, but it became clear that I was like, this was nothing more than just a lust situation. Like I really was just at work after hours and there was nothing to do.
So what was that like? Because I always think about like, I'm not trying to date coworkers, but like, I just worry about like the breakup. Like wasn't that awkward at work after that?
It was like, well, for one, she left. So it enabled us to not be awkward after that. But like during the time, it was still very intense. It was still all this game of cat and mouse, you know, like, oh, stop. Why are you by the printer? Why are you doing that? Like all of that up until it was like, you know, kind of like, whoa, okay, it's time to go, you know.
Yeah. I don't think it's a problem if you want to date your colleague, or if you want to have a Work Bae, or if you want to have a work lust situation. If you watch so many movies and you're like, what's it like to do it in the photocopy room? We're going to get caught. This is a fantasy. I have to do this just to see how it is for the thrill, you know? If she likes, go and have a work day. If you like, mix work and pleasure. If you don't, I think in anything you embark on, right? In any sort of interaction, in any sort of relationship that you embark on, there needs to be clear communication and understanding about what it is that you are getting into. If it's a lust situation that you guys are just enjoying the thrill and that's exciting, then go through. If you now want to go further than this and have a proper relationship outside of the work environment, then that needs to be articulated. And I feel like if one person has one ideology and the other's ideology doesn't meet that, then that's where we can have a disagreement, or that's where we can have a misunderstanding, and that's where things can go sour. So it's really clear for the babe or the mister to just make it clear what he or she wants from the get, and yeah, have fun, don't get hurt, experience life. There's only, my mom always says, Aye Kolowa, no duplicate. So that means there's only one life, there's no duplicate.
Chop life, only life, chop
live out.
That's a word. Okay, so listen, sis, whoever wrote this, or sir, do it. Have fun, communicate clearly is what I'm hearing. And you know, just tailor expectations for the reality of the situation.
100%.
All right, let's go into situation number 2. So today we're talking about getting flued out. This person said, so recently I have been talking to a guy that I met in Atlanta. It's been about 2 months since we've kicked it, and I'm eager to see him as our chemistry was really, really good. I currently live in New York and have been discussing planning a trip to meet up with him, but this time in Tulum. Okay, girl, there you go. Okay. He's adamant about flying me out and paying for the room, but I'm not sure it's a good idea to let him because I'm not 100% ready to give it up. I feel like sex is required though. My friends have told me that it's my decision, and if I feel like giving it up and I'm in the mood to, then do it. However, if not, then he should understand and it won't be a big deal. My homeboys, though, they've laughed at me when I've told him, they've laughed at me and told me that if I pull up, just know that he's expecting the buns. So my question is sex required when getting flown out? Also, I'm unsure about going. So to fly or not? That is the question.
I'm with the homeboys because you're not coming to Tulum when I get your money. Listen, I'm just saying it's Tulum. It's another country. Okay, you're leaving. You're traveling hours, right? And you're gonna go meet this guy. Where he is, Tulum is technically a desert. You know?
Yeah.
I don't think that has access to buns where he's at. So he's importing buns for the buns to tell him no. Yeah.
Okay.
Never sees.
Here's my thing, okay? I have been flued out before, and I feel like it's a tricky one. All right, let me get comfortable. It's a tricky one. I feel like, listen, if you don't want the expectation of having to give it up, pay for your portion, because at that point you guys have both paid. You both have paid, and then at this point, like, he can't really demand shit. I honestly think that a nigga shouldn't be demanding shit anyways, and like.
No, he shouldn't. No, he shouldn't demand anything. It's just he shouldn't demand anything, but it's just weird because you're setting yourself up for like an awkward vibe.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's really weird because if a guy makes a move on you, you travel all the way to Tulum, and he makes a move on you, and you say no. From then on, right, there's this energy in the air, right, of you guys having this like loss of like, because now it's like he's thinking like, why did she say no, and why is she sticking to it, and then she's thinking like, wow, he didn't even try hard or some shit like that. Like it just.
I mean, I think it comes down to clear communication because, like, listen, ladies, you can get, I know somebody who got a car from a man before even hooking up with him. So, like, you could get a city from a man before having to give it up. It's just about, like, that harnessing your divine feminine and, you know, communicating as, like, the boss ass woman that you are. I think men do have the expectation because y'all are simple-minded. Y'all have the expectation that, like, if I do something, I'm gonna get the cakes. But, like, women also, we have the power to, like, you know, be in control of these positions.
I love how Bissy is loving this. So you see for money, she's like, this is for money.
I mean, yeah. So, like, I don't know. I say, girl, go because, like, YOLO. When else is you gonna get to go to Tulum? It just depends on, like, what you are comfortable with. Like, if you're comfortable going and telling him no, like, I'm not ready to do it, then do that. But, like, if you absolutely don't want any of, like, the awkwardness, pay for your portion and then just make him pay for dinner and stuff when you're there.
Yeah, like, let it be like, you know, it's just two friends getting to know each other on a trip.
Yeah. BC, what are your thoughts? Because you brewing over there.
Yeah, you've been bursting.
No.
You've been bursting with.
It's not, maybe I live in, like, an alternate reality, but the fact that this is even a question, I think that is the main problem. That is one of the first problems. If someone is inviting you somewhere, right, why do we even have to question whether he's inviting me for sex? He can have sex for you in the country that you are there. So why is it now that is even a question that you have to go and ask your boys and your girls and be second question between yourself? That whole thing, and even Ike, you saying that he's going to Tulum or whatever. I'm from London, so I don't know what Tulum is. He's going to, of course, he's expecting that. That is that level of entitlement that just shouldn't exist. And yeah, maybe I'm dreaming about something that is not going to happen or is not going to become a reality, but it shouldn't be, and it shouldn't be that way. And even if she wanted to go and she didn't want to give anything up, then she doesn't have to. She still doesn't need to pay her part if she doesn't want to. As in, the guy went out of his way to ask the babe, come, let's go, Abby. She didn't now say, let's go together, so let me pay half. You invite me. If you invite me to go to the cinema,
the reputation of the word flued out, right? Everybody almost knows what flued out means, right?
I don't know what it means. Because you guys, I can fly to LA for work. I got flued out.
Flued out is cool.
I hate that Black Twitter has made flued out this what
you
it
guys have exactly
right. Black Twitter has changed the definition of flued out.
Yeah.
So it's like for me, it's like when I see the definition,
speak honest.
I can't. Now, when I see flued out in a text message or in a message or in a post, I can't think anything but like, yo, you about to do, like, we'll get it international.
Change the definition of sleeping as waking up. Will you now think sleeping is waking up?
No. If they say deep sleeping, yeah? If they switch it, you
have to don't come and stress me. Because people are... collectively
you have to
foolish. Does that mean you should not jump on the bandwagon and collectively join the collective foolishness?
But when you slangify it, yes. Black Twitter, what happens is before it used to be called "I'm flying out." You left the country. I'm on vacay. I'm taking staycay. Whatever the other title was, but now, right? Black Twitter said, "Yo, you got flued out." Flued out in quotes. Flued out, man. You went to get international buns. So if you say,
you just went to an international country. You just went somewhere else. You didn't fly out to have sex. If you had sex in a different country, cool. But you didn't. Your intention was not to pack your bag, get on the flight, go through.
Okay. So I guess the perfect way to end this debate, I guess, would be to say it depends on what this guy has been texting. Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. So now if he was saying, yo, I can't wait to squeeze them buns, right? And she was like, She was like, "Oh my God, I wish I was there with you." And he was like, "How about you come?"
Okay, yeah.
What is this?
That is intentional articulation of intention. He
Okay,
intentionally articulated
that's what,
that he
and I'm
wanted her,
100%,
and
I'm
she
100% sure that this writer, I feel like this writer has been told that their buns, something was going
Yeah.
to happen to their buns, and they
maybe
said,
that's why she's in second mind, Abby.
yeah, that's why she's in second mind. Because the only reason why you ask yourself is because you might have made some promises of buns, and maybe you're second guessing.
I agree.
Maybe she
Because
should
there
have
is a
asked him.
complication. There is
Maybe
a
she should have asked the
complication
person.
of. You said maybe she what?
She should have asked the person.
She should ask the person, but there's a complication of what if she's curious about the bun, right? And she
Yeah.
gets over there, and she does get it, and it's terrible, and she doesn't want to do it again. What next?
That's their problem, innit? What it on? It's finished. At least you tried. You failed. It's finished.
I mean, that's a good point, because then it's like it's just like, because now I think it's like, if you ask, people should, okay, so I'm a firm believer that, like, if you're going to be an adult, a sexual adult, then you have to get used to, like, having these awkward conversations. So I think it's like the awkwardness of, like, okay, now I ask and I'm like, are you expecting for us to have sex? And then the person's like, I mean, like, yeah, whatever, I don't know, however niggas speak. And then it's like, now there's like that awkwardness of, like, it's not natural anymore. Or, you know, if it's like, no, then it's like, oh, well, damn, maybe I was going to give it up. But it's hard to tell. Are we telling sis to go? Are we telling her to ask? Like, what's our action item for her?
We're telling sis to go, but have a flight ticket back. Just take precautions.
I'm telling her to go if she's comfortable. And she should, if it was me, I would definitely be like, yo, are you trying to fly me out to have sex? If that's the case, and if I'm not on it, oh boy, don't fly me. Or if you want to go and sightsee, I'll buy my ticket if I want to, innit? But yeah.
I'm telling sis, run up the miles on his coin, baby. And then, just communicate and make sure that, like, I think for me, it's like, just make sure you kind of, maintain the agency of your decision and don't get pressured. So that's that. Let's do y'all think we have time for question 3? Or should we just?
I mean, let's just knock it out, right?
Yeah. All right, let's do it. So we're going to pivot from getting flued out and who's paying to dating, okay? So this person says, and I think this one's a man, he said, who do you guys think should pay for dinner on dates? I'm going on a second date with this woman that I met, but I want to avoid any bit of awkwardness because she invited me to go out. Who should pay then when the relationship is official if it gets there?
Oh, he's cute.
The relationship is official?
No. It says who should pay when the relationship becomes official. So right now, this is their second date. He's taking her.
She invited him out.
Yeah, and I think this time she asked him to, like, go for dinner or something. So he's saying who should pay.
Yeah. If I'm inviting someone, if I say, Claire, let's go out to eat, right? I'm gonna make sure I have enough to cover both of us. If I'm like, Ike, let's go out to eat, I want you to leave your house to come and join me at some place so we can spend time together. I would make sure that I have enough to cover you and myself, because it's me that's asking you to come out of the comfort of your home. Ike, if you would like me to pay, I will pay. If you would like to pay your bit, if you would like to pay all of it, it's to your own discretion. I don't think we should have the expectation that is mandated that a man or whoever, just because they are a male species or the guy, to pay. We shouldn't have that entitlement. Yeah, there's, what's it called? Chivalry?
Yeah.
Chivalry?
Yeah, chivalry.
I was trying to collect it in my brain. I wasn't sure where it was coming from. Or being a gentleman, or how society has kind of taught and kind of, what's the English? The English is
gender roles kind of thing, like stepping into those?
Yeah, basically just conditioned us to think that when you go out on a date or when you go out with someone, the male part should pay, right? Just because we've been through those conditioning and that systematic training, I don't think it exists. It should exist. Like if the guy wants to pay, let him pay, but be able to pay if you want to pay. But if a guy's asking me out, yes, I'll be able to afford it myself, but babe, he asked me out of my house. Right?
I'm surprised. I didn't think you were gonna say 50-50. I didn't even know where to come off. I was supposed to be defending.
JC, but are you pulling out the wallet? Like even when
yeah.
You pulling out the wallet?
I'm quite direct. I'll be like, oh, so what? Are we splitting the bill? Or I'll be like, should I pay for drinks? Are you paying for food? Or
yeah, but I feel like see women like this. It's a game of chicken, right? See the way she asked that. There's something petrifying about that because you don't know what the intent is of the question. Well, we splitting the bill. Now it's like, are we splitting the bill? Or am I a bitch ass nigga? Like,
period. Thank you.
Like if I split the bill right now, Bissy's gonna go home thinking I'm a broken ass nigga. And if I do pay up, like I'm gonna handle mine, but then Bissy's gonna be like, yo, but he hesitated. He even let me ask. Oh my gosh.
Is this how guys think?
Yeah, because you find the question, because you brought the question out first, now it's like a game of chicken. I'm like, oh my god, she's asking practice.
It's not that serious. Just answer. Are we splitting?
I'm like, okay, is she progressive? Does she want me to be like, women matter in the opinion?
Wait, did women not matter if she pays?
That's what I'm saying, because if I grab it now, I'm like, yeah, I got it. Okay, what's wrong with me? Why am I being so?
I feel you, but it's not a trick question. It's literally just the question. So just communicate so we understand. So there's no expectations, or let's just communicate. Be free.
See, here's my thing. I feel like I've lived my dating life being an independent woman and going half and pulling out my wallet and paying for these niggas. And now where I'm at in my, in my dating life, I'm like, I'm done. Like, I think it's like, I realized that I've set a precedent, me doing that, I've set a precedence of like niggas thinking like like, I don't know. Niggas don't, it's like, I feel like if I go half on it with you, you're just my homeboy. You know what I'm saying? Like at this point, it's like, my expectation of courting is like, because here's my thing. I don't think that anybody should be dating if you shouldn't be dating, you shouldn't be getting flued out if in an emergency you're unable to pay for your own, your own situation. So I think like when it comes to dating, and again, me being a very progressive woman and anti like gender roles, when it comes to dating, I'm like, no, baby, I need you to go ahead and pay for at least like the first three dates, kind of do that chivalry, kind of like, show them that you're willing to invest in me, open the door, blase blah. Just because, again, me having tried to be that independent woman, I've paid for too many dinners that like any woman should have to pay for. So
I mean, so it sounds like you paid your dues. Listen, no. It sounds like you said you sound experienced. You're like, I have enough evidence to prove that men ain't shit, and that's a good point. At least you're not starting out the gate just going, hey, everybody should pay for my dinner. No, you've tried, you've been good intention with every single time you've done it, and yet men have, like you're saying, men have failed to repay, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like kind of since I raised that bar, the pool has been very exceedingly like satisfactory. So like
that's what quality over quantity does. Listen, in my life too, I had the same experience. You pick good, it just kind of smoothens things out,
Okay. So do you pay when you take girls out to date? When you take girls out on a date, you be like, like, obviously I want to spend time with you, and like I just want to like be with you. Let's hang out. How do you say hang out? Let's hang out.
This smooth R&B intro now. Okay,
I know what it
is.
So let's go to whatever restaurant it is. Do you pay?
Yeah, of course. If I'm in what? I'm telling you to go somewhere with me? Of course I'm paying.
And if she asks you to go somewhere with her, you pay.
Oh no, baby love. You hit me on a
No?
day when I'm in the trenches. Okay, when I'm in the trenches, if I'm not talking about going somewhere, that's because I'm in the trenches. I'm working for this money. Okay, like I'm trying to get my life together. So if you say, "Come on, let's go," and you know where I'm at, like I'm a struggling artist. Like you got to take careers into consideration here.
But like
Yeah.
in this case, it's date number 2. She's still learning who you are, and like maybe perhaps it's been a week and you haven't asked to see her again. So she's like, okay, let's go out. Since it's date number 2, is it still she's paying? I don't know.
Oh, this is a very real life dilemma, and I've been here. I've been exactly here before. This is like you're reading my life. Um, when that happened, right? What the messed up thing was, I ghosted. Just being honest, I ghosted, and I could yeah, BC waits now. Oh, Claire, please, everybody, I lost everybody in one go. But I only ghosted out of like anxiety because I panicked. I was like, I don't like. What do I say? Like, how do I explain that? Like I'm not financially equipped for any of this. Like, and I was like, this is yeah, it's a huge bruise to my ego as a man. So I'm like, okay, I think the best way is just cut this off and just fall back. Like you don't deserve, you can't handle this level of pressure. Like why did you even sign up? Because you had a good raise for 1 week. But because when I realized that my bank account wasn't looking up to par,
Oh
I was
shit.
like, time to recoup, time to recollect. What are we doing here? Are you just trying to keep up with everybody on Tinder? Like, no, like cut it out. So that was my experience with that. But generally, that's why what you said, Claire, about if you don't have the money to, don't go signing up because then you end up in a situation like this where someone's like, "Hey, we should do this. I think it's a fun idea," and you're like,
I ain't got it like that,
"Damn,
little mama. Yeah.
yeah, like you know."
Do you
I
guys
feel you.
do you guys feel like that changes once the relationship is official? Like, does it go to 50-50 at that point?
Um,
I think it goes, I treat you, you treat me. You
Yeah.
can treat me more, but I'll still treat you. You
That's
know?
Thank you.
that's how it
Yeah.
should be. That's how it should
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hiring you as my life coach because, girl, you got all the answers.
I
Thank you.
say I say this. I say I don't know. Jesus was a carpenter up until he was what 33 before he decided to go mainstream with his career. I
These
feel
niggas
like
not Jesus.
I'm putting it like this. Jesus wasn't even dating up until what his 30s, and that was when he felt like solid and sufficient. And even then, he's like, yo, baby, I gotta like God gonna call me soon. I'm gonna have to dip, but do this. So I feel like the real problem is this day and age, right? People skip steps. You have people that struggle maybe throughout their 20s or maybe most of their early 20s. And during that struggle, they spend the same struggle trying to, I guess, court and explain that struggle to whoever they're courting. And usually just ends up with a bunch of people having crazy PTSD like, oh, I remember my ex was doing this and he was a broke ass nigga. And it was just like, was he though? Like, it's a matter of perspective.
Yeah.
Was he a broke ass nigga or was he just struggling at that time?
These Build-A-Bear ass niggas that you want us to deal with. No shade, but that is all for our listeners.
That's why I stopped going to the beer shop. I
Listen.
see it. I see the build. I saw the pattern. I was like, okay, this is Build a Bear thing going on with these niggas. Like, I better not sign up.
I ain't a part of it. Thank you guys so much for sending your letters. If you guys want us to continue answering your questions, giving you guys advice, make sure to send an email to cultureunfilteredshow@gmail.com.
Make sure you send them all because I think I'm going to adopt the hat as agony art. What are you going to be the agony brother? Uncle?
No, I'm gonna be in there. Send the letters. Send
the letters.
Everything, whatever you have.
Everything. But overall, it's been such a fun episode. So make sure you join us in the next episode for more hot topics, more events that are disrupting the culture. And you're gonna have me, your girl Bissy Atkins,
your girl Clara Teku,
and Ike Slimster.
And you have been watching Culture Unfiltered. See you in the next one, guys.
Bye.